Hi guys, so today I'm filming a video talking about books from the perspective of a doctor looking at a patient. I think this is a very interesting subject and especially because my world is very medicalised, I've come to realise that doctors are people too. So yes, I am going to be talking about some books I have read recently. I reviewed When Breath Becomes Air a while back and that book is still with me. What a beautifully written book that was. So the first book I'm going to be talking about is The Bad Doctor by Ian Williams. It follows Dr. Ian James as he navigates his own mental health and being a GP. It doesn't offer a glossy version of being a GP at all. It looks at life and death and the in-between of people being very poorly or some of the more odd requests he's been asked for in his surgery. It was pretty humorous in places, but I loved that it made doctors seem very human. While a doctor is treating you for anxiety or you know, poor mental health, they themselves they can have poor mental health as well. I know this is odd, but when you're in hospital for such a long time, you look at doctors and you think, wow, like they're almost untouchable or something. But actually when you come into the community, you come to realise that you can have a good relationship with them and they are just people too. They have husbands, wives, daughters at home and they are very compassionate, and I like the compassion that was seen in this book. I also liked that it was human in the relationships that he formed with other doctors and his friends. He goes cycling a lot as well. I'll show you some of the graphics now. I think this book is absolutely amazing. It's in black and white and you can see I love the close-up shots and the way that the writing is written is very accessible. It was brilliant for me with my Erland syndrome and I loved, it reminded this, I loved that you could read expressions very easily and they didn't need words. That is one thing that I am obsessed with about graphic novels. So in one section he was wrinkling his nose, and of course you know that that means a smell is absolutely disgusting, but you didn't need the character to say, oh, there was a bad smell in the room. And that's where it differentiates from fiction. And I love reading graphic novels as a break, and it's been scientifically proven that you read graphic novels in a different way and you are exercising a different part of your brain. I love the flashbacks that it had to his early life and his university life, his feelings as he became a father, and I would recommend this to you if you have any kind of phobia of your doctor or don't enjoy going to the doctors. Obviously no one enjoys going to the doctors, but like if you're scared of the doctors or you know, you have negative feelings attached to the doctors, I would definitely say I would read this, and I'd also say get a new doctor anyway. The design was very simple. Each frame was not cluttered, and that added to the story because you were able to concentrate on the narrative rather than what was going on behind them, because sometimes I find in graphic novels they're too busy and you can't concentrate on the issue at hand. I also liked that it was a complete volume. It looks huge but actually it only took me, well, it didn't take me very long to read at all, and if you're looking for a sense of achievement, I think graphic novels are a brilliant avenue to look in because you've read a book and you know, or if you struggle reading, a sense of achievement from finishing a book is huge. I know I certainly grabbed graphic novels when I was coming out of hospital because I didn't have much energy to read at all. The second book I had just finished, it was an audiobook, and it was Confessions of a GP by Dr. Benjamin James, I think his name was. Anyway, I will leave a description in the down bar. I really enjoyed this book. So here's a locum. The name on the cover of the book is not his actual name, obviously, because patient confidentiality and confidentiality of some of the things he says. He discussed some very humorous cases, so people coming in and requesting all sorts, people who are very much in need. He discussed end of life and his feelings on what the NHS should be spending money on. Now, I'm not saying I necessarily agree with everything he says in that book, but it didn't stop me from enjoying it. And that's another book that humanises doctors. They have a very busy work life, and they can be sat there thinking, oh, I just want to go to the pub at the end of the day. And they're just as human as the rest of us, and but they deal with a lot of emotional burden from other people, but obviously they're trained to do that. Anyway, this was sent to me by Myriad, and I'm very, very thankful. I love graphic novels, and I've got quite a nice, and hopefully I've got a nice announcement to talk about regarding that very soon. No, I'm not getting a graphic novel published. I can't draw for toffee. Yes, so thank you, Myriad. I'll see you all next time. I'm getting more and more and more into graphic novels. I am absolutely obsessed with them. If any of you can give me some recommendations, I would be hugely thankful. Okay, I'll see you all next time. Bye!